welcome back to another video. Today I am repotting all of the new plants that I got in March. I think all of them. I've gone around and collected them all. The only one I haven't got is the teeny little like cactus. Oh, and the succulent that I'd already like repotted because I thought I had mealybugs. So I haven't got those two with me, but I think I've got all of the others. So I don't always repot plants when I first get them, but I just, you know, it's spring. I feel like I want to give them some new soil, check on their root health, seeing as they're new to me. And yeah, that's what we're going to do today. The lighting is pretty shocking and I'm really sorry about that. It's the cloudiest day, but the clouds are really white. Or like not white, but they're really light grey and they're just beaming in. So I've got the blind pulled ever so slightly just so that I'm not like squinting, but it means that it's not the best. So I think I've tried, I think it's okay. I might end up like when I'm editing, just bringing up the brightness just a little bit, but I hope it's okay and that you can see everything. So I'm not going to talk through the plants because you will have literally just seen them in the last video that went up on my channel. So if you don't know which plants I'm on about, go and watch that video first. Let's get into the repotting, shall we? Who do I want to start with? I think I really want to start with my Philodendron bilietiae. So I am going to start there. I just need to make some space. I will do that. Okay, first up, Philodendron bilietiae. I got this, I mean, I don't even need to tell you the backstory, do I? I got this one as a present for my 10-year anniversary from my husband. We've not been married 10 years, we've known each other 10 years. And the roots are poking out of the pot, and also, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but when I look at the bottom, I can see that the soil's not like sat in the I can see that the soil's not sat like in the holes, it's raised up, so that's making me think that the roots are like spiraling at the bottom, but let's find out. Oh no, this poor plant. Wow, that is rooty. Look at that. Oh, wow, that is a very well rooted philodendron. Jeez. I wonder how long it's been in that pot for. Okay, so to repot this one, I'm actually going to go with a drainage vessel, which is really unusual for me these days. I'm normally a no drainage kind of gal, but I mean, I'm just out of no drainage vessels, to be honest. Like, they're just a little bit more pricey, and I've got loads of drainage clear pots, so I may as well use them, haven't I? And I'm going to be potting it in the Soil.Ninja Monstera and Philodendron mix. I've never used this mix before, and I am excited to give it a go, and I'm really hoping that this philodendron really enjoys it. This video isn't sponsored by Soil.Ninja, but they did send me this substrate and a couple of other bits out for free. And I'm a part of their affiliate program now, which is really exciting. I'm just like, I'm honoured to be a part of it. But that means that I can share a discount code with you guys, which is exciting. So I will have like all the information linked down in the description. Please do check them out. They are a wonderful small business. I really do recommend them. I'm just teasing some of the substrate out because I'm pretty sure this is like just, it might just be like a peat substrate. I'm not completely sure, but it's very light and fluffy and airy. I just want to see what's going on beneath it without, I mean, there's definitely going to be some damage to the roots, but I'll try not to cause too much damage. I don't know how to not do that. These are so huge. Oh, wow. So I feel like it's been ages since I've done like a proper kind of repot video. I think it's because like the repot videos, they take the most kind of energy, like setting up the filming, the making sure you've got everything, which I probably still don't have everything that I'm gonna need for this repot session. And I end up going back and forth. It just takes a long time to get set up and ready, and then I don't know, when if you're not new here, you'll probably know that I find it hard to like talk and do at the same time. So we're doing well so far with the talking. Ooh, I'm definitely breaking roots. Sometimes it's just got to be done. There's enough roots here, it's gonna be fine. So, how are you? I hope you're well. I am not, I'm not okay at the moment. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, to be honest. I'm completely honest with you, to be honest. I've really been struggling. Yeah, I've really been struggling, and filming videos at the weekend, like, I actually really enjoy doing this because it feels like at the moment when I hang out with my plants and I'm filming, I have to concentrate on what I'm doing, what I'm saying, and it's like the only time that my mind is a bit quieter currently, and the rest of the time my mind is just thinking about work. I'm having a really rough time in work, not because of the job. I mean, it is because of the job. I don't know, it's so hard to explain. Like, if you are not in the industry that I'm in, it's hard to explain it. Hang on, I'm just going to concentrate because I can't talk and finish sentences. Apparently I can't talk and finish sentences. What I was trying to see was whether there was a plug in amongst it. It was looking like there wasn't, but there is one. I hope it's picking up, but there's one just here. And it's one of those like plastic meshy ones. And to be honest, like, you can see how many roots have made their way out of it. Like, I don't, like, lots of people think it kind of strangles the plant and prevents the roots from growing, but like, there are so many roots growing here. I just wanted to see what was actually going on. Like, this is not stopping the plant from growing at all. It's fine. But I wanted to know what I was dealing with underneath, because sometimes they're like really, they're ones that like hold loads of water, and like I don't really want that sat at the base of my plant kind of thing. But that kind of one I don't mind so much. I think it's going to be okay. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm trying to show you like the root breakage. Those are some impressive roots, aren't they? Okay, so now I need to decide what pot to put it in. I feel like that'll be okay, won't it? Too small? It's a pretty big jump depth-wise, but because I've teased the roots out a little bit, I might go bigger. God, it's been such a long time since I've repotted in drainage that I'm just a little bit nervous, but I should be less nervous, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a slightly bigger one. This is one, it's an old shop one. Good times. So, yeah, I'm not okay currently. Oh, that is a nice mix. Like I said, I've not used the like pre-mixed substrates before from Soil.Ninja, but I'll try and show you. That's so nice. So there's some, it looks like it's pumice and perlite. There is some super nice bark in here. I'm sure there's worm castings. I'm doing it again. I can just look at what's in there on the back. So activated charcoal, zeolite, pumice, worm castings, cocoa coir, bark and perlite. That's a really nice mix. Okay. Cute. Kind of looks like I bought it from my shop, but I didn't. I might. There's loads of tiny little baby leaves at the bottom here, and I might remove some because I don't want them getting like stuck underneath the soil and just kind of rotting away. Cute. I mean, you can't really see what I'm doing if it's down here, can you? I've literally just filled it up without filming any part of it. Gonna have to re-figure out this potting situation so that you can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, look. There's a whole leaf buried down there. Whoops. Okay, so I am not okay, and I think I know it's burnout. I know I'm really struggling with burnout at the moment. Basically, if you didn't know, I was part-time last year because I had the shop as well, and then we decided to close the shop because we're really wanting to, I mean, hopefully buy a house this year, or at least start that process. So we needed more consistent income of like both our full-time jobs. So we closed the shop so that we could go full-time in our day jobs. And I'm a nurse, a mental health nurse, and so that's what we did. We have been, both me and my husband have been full-time since January. We're both struggling with it a bit, to be completely honest. I need to, now that I've squished it all, I need to refill because there's a big gap. Yeah, neither of us are enjoying it. Neither of us are enjoying it at all. And I think I'm particularly struggling because the job I have is not, is conducive the right word? Feels like the right word, but it's not a word I use often. It's not conducive to me as a person. I don't know how well this video is going to go because I just keep stopping talking. But there's my philodendron bilietier all potted up in some new substrate. I think he's going to be really happy in that. It's a really nice substrate. I kind of wish that I bought it for my monstera my monstera propagation, to be honest. But that's the first one done. Very happy with it. What I'm going to do after I've repotted them all is I'm going to put them in the bathtub to like run the shower over them, because that one's still got so much soil on its leaves from where I unboxed it. But it looks so much happier now. Next I'm going to do the Homolomina. This thing looks sad as heck because it is really thirsty, so I kind of want to get it repotted so that I can just go and give it a drink now. This is what the bottom's looking like. Those roots don't look great. There's a couple of like dead leaves. Like, it didn't look the healthiest, to be fair, when I picked it up, but let's just see what's going on underneath the pot. Okay, this is what it's looking like. Obviously very, very dry. There are some healthy roots there. So I'm just going to break it up a little bit and see, because it looks like, oh, that's a plug. Look at that plug. I'm trying to not drop soil all over the floor. I definitely do want to remove that one. That one looks gross. I'm guessing that's a slow release fertilizer ball. Where was I? Yeah, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm burnt out. I am just struggling. I think along with, so I got diagnosed with ADHD last year, and I think part of why I'm struggling is because I'm suddenly realizing that, like, there's a reason why I'm struggling. Like, I always kind of thought, always in the mindset of like, oh, come on, everyone else can do this. Why can't you just get on with it? Like, everyone else is in the same position. They're all struggling. Just keep going. Just get back up and keep going. Like, and I could never understand why I always burnt out so much faster and so much like harder than other people, and why I can't handle stress so much. Just why I feel everything so like deeply. And with being diagnosed with ADHD, I'm like, oh, that's why. Because, I mean, obviously I don't know, but other people are neurotypical, and so they don't feel things the way I feel them. Like, if you have ADHD, you're highly like, oh, this kind of plug is gross. Like the really fine knit mesh kind of plug. It's different to the one that was in the Billy Etier. Horrible. This one I do want to get off. Can't remember what I was saying. I didn't actually take my ADHD medication today. Like, you're supposed to have like, wait, I don't know if you're supposed to, but my doctor recommended having some breaks. So every now and then on the weekend I'll not take it. Today was one of those days, and I can tell. I can tell I haven't taken it. So yeah, like, people with ADHD experience stress like more intensely and more frequently. Oh, the light is changing. Experience stress more intensely and more frequently than neurotypical people. And we also suffer with, well, not all of us, but a lot of us suffer with something called RSD, which is rejection sensitivity dysphoria, and it is completely possible to make yourself feel like shit because of that. It's basically like any kind of perceived rejection. Like, it can be perceived, it doesn't have to be actual rejection. It's quite intolerable to feel it. And I always thought I was just this extra sensitive person, but now, like, knowing that, everything makes sense for me. And I feel like that comes into play a lot within how I do my job, because I go the extra mile. And like, that's not just me saying that. Like, I've had people that I've worked with say that. Like, a colleague was literally saying that to me on Thursday this week, and it's lovely to hear, but it's just like, I don't know how to not do that. I don't know how to not go the extra mile. Like, that's how I nurse, that's how I care, that's how I do my job. And when I can't do that, like when I'm burning out like I am at the moment, I feel so deeply that I'm letting people down. And then that's like where the RSD comes into it. So I feel like I'm letting them down, they're going to think badly of me, like I'm not helping them or I'm not trying to help them. And it just becomes this cycle of feeling so awful, so awful. This is what the roots are looking like. They're actually looking okay, I think. It's like, it's like a million pups all coming off of the same thing, like the same I don't know. I don't even know what you'd call it. I also don't know what substrate I'm going to put this in. I might put it in the Philodendron and Monstera one. Like, I feel like it probably like that. It's a really nice soil. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go in and give it a drink. So yeah, I am burning out. I'm burning out hard. Look, that pot's massive compared to the plant, but hopefully it'll be happy in there for a little while. And it's having a massive impact on my out of work life. Like, since being full-time, I barely had time for friends and family when I was part-time. I really struggle with social situations. Like, I love my friends and family, and most of the time I feel like I can be myself around them, but I'm also realizing that actually I've masked my whole life, and figuring out what that looks like, what unmasking looks like with friends and family is really hard. And masking is exhausting, and that's why I find social situations exhausting, because I'm masking all the time. And trying to unpick who I am without the mask on, and like honouring that person is really hard, because I think a lot of the time I wouldn't actually do anything social, especially with my job, because my job to me is socially draining. I have to talk to so many people every day, all day. Like, we're so busy. I'm back to back. Like, when I say back to back, like, I mean, I've got an appointment every single hour, and those appointments usually last an hour. Sometimes they go over, so then I'm late. And like, I'm having, obviously we work with other professionals a lot of the time, but over the last couple of weeks I've had to attend some meetings for some people, visit hospital for other people, work with like social care and just other kind of professional agencies, and they're like, can you do this meeting, can you call at this time, can you quickly just talk about this? And I'm like, I have no free time. You need to book in 3 weeks in advance. There's no free time. I'm so behind on admin, guys. So behind on admin. I don't know why I was telling you that bit. It's socially draining, socially demanding. Yeah, back to back. Yeah, got there in the end. Well done, brain. It's a really hard job. There are so many elements to it. Like, it is not a job for somebody like me. But on the other hand, I know I'm really good at it. I do know that. I just don't know how to be really good at it and also just, you know, have a life outside of it and look after myself. So much better at looking after other people than I am at looking after myself. And yeah, over the last month, so I knew I was really struggling like throughout February, and then at the beginning of the March I had a week off with my husband to celebrate our 10 years of knowing each other, and that was lovely. But I could tell in that week I wasn't switched off from work. I was thinking about the young people on my caseload all week, and it came to the end of that week off and I was like, I don't feel rested. I can't go back. I felt really panicky about going back. And I went back, obviously. I went back to work, and the whole of March has been really hard, and I don't want to get upset, so just swallow those tears. It's been a really hard month. I'm just going to go and quickly give this guy some water. I think I'm happy with how it's potted up. I've just given it some water with Great White Myco mixed into it. You can probably hear it draining. Just to hopefully help with the transplant shock. I really want to repot my Philodendron Majestic today, but I also want to give it a moss pole, and I don't know if I've got the energy to do that, if I'm completely honest. So I think I'm going to save that one till like last, if I do end up doing it. I think I'm going to do the 2 Crassula ovata variegated next. I want to pop them together And I think I'm going to put them into the terrarium substrate, which might seem like an odd choice, but I know it's got sand in it. And I just feel like they're succulents, so they probably like a grittier substrate. Like I might add something else to it. So the terrarium substrate has activated charcoal, bark, sand, cocoa coir, zeolite and worm castings. I'll see. Like I said, I said in the video where I first showed them, the soil that they're in isn't that bad. So maybe I'll add some of the terrarium substrate to the soil that they're in. I'm just thinking, where do I want to put all of this? Hang on, let me just empty this tray out so that I can kind of mix it together. Whew. Okay. I've got a big pot again to put them together, because I'm assuming they're going to need a big pot because the pots they're in are already quite big. Let's see what's going on underneath. So, where was I in this probably really depressing story time repot? Yeah, March has been really rough. I think it's been a mixture of just me, you know, being 3 months into being full-time and struggling, and then I've had some really unwell young people kind of like needing physical health support as well, so because I work with eating disorders, and eating disorders are mental health illness, but they are very, very much physical as well. I feel like these roots are very fine, aren't they? I'm probably just destroying loads of them. So yeah, I've had to have a couple of people go into like a physical health hospital to be stabilised, and that's just hard. Like it's hard to know that they need to go in, and then it adds a lot. So there's like more meetings that you have to do. It adds in other professionals that you need to work with. It adds, well, it takes away time because you go and visit them in hospital, which is, you know, a hospital visit can take 3-4 hours of your time, and I don't have that. So it feels like it adds on to like the not being able to, why is that so hard? Like the not being able to work in the way that I want to work. Do you know what? If this video goes up, I will be so surprised. I know I'm going to struggle editing this because I always struggle editing things when I'm talking like this. And also I feel like I'm not really making much sense at all. There's a really hard thing. I'm wondering if I think it's one of those like bark plugs. Not bark, but I don't know, it just feels, maybe it's just the base of the plant, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I've just destroyed so many roots, so I don't really want to keep digging around, to be honest. If you're still watching, thank you for still being here and still watching and listening to me moan and groan about feeling like crap. I just want to be real with you, really. Like, I'm struggling and I can put on like a happy brave face, but that's exhausting. I'm doing that all the time at the moment, so I'm in a bit of a flatter place and I'm just trying to allow myself to be in that place, even if it sucks. I've also recently come to the realisation that as well as ADHD, I'm probably autistic, which is yeah, do you know what, I can see it better with this one. So this section here, like it's not an obvious plug, like I can't see it, but it's solid and there are just roots growing in it. So I definitely think it was some kind of plug, but I can't see what it was. And like there are roots growing out of it, so I guess it's okay. The plant seems fine, so I'm just going to leave it and not worry about it too much. I am going to reuse some of that substrate that's come off of them. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm realising that I'm most likely autistic, as well as having ADHD, and I feel like over the years, so I've worked in schools as a one-to-one support for kids with autism, and I'm really I've always been really interested in autism, and I think part of that now is probably because I connected with it. It was like me, and it all makes sense to me now. And I've done, obviously I know they're online tests, but to be fair, like the online tests I did for ADHD before I got diagnosed by a doctor, they were asking really similar questions to what the doctor forms would ask. So I've done a couple of online tests for autism and I come up pretty high. But to get assessed for autism as an adult, it's years and years on waiting lists. So, and like unlike with ADHD, so if you get diagnosed with ADHD, you can try medication, whereas with autism there isn't medication for autism. So I don't really know if I feel the need to go and get a diagnosis officially. Like, I'm curious, I'd like the kind of validation of whether I'm correct or not. How do I want these to sit together? Like that, I think. But I think I am correct, to be honest. And I know that in the kind of neurodivergent community, self-diagnosis is completely accepted, and I'm probably just going to consider myself an autistic ADHD from now on, really. But with that is just more realisation that I've spent my life like putting myself in really uncomfortable situations, when actually if I'd known all along that I'm neurodivergent, probably wouldn't have forced myself to do that. So yeah, there's a lot that's come with the ADHD diagnosis. I'm definitely still processing it, and I guess this is a bit of an update that like I'm happy to have the diagnosis and loads of things make sense, and it's been really validating, but at the same time, like, it's never gonna not be there. Like, you can't cure it, it's just there, and that's hard to accept sometimes, and it's hard when you're struggling and it's like, it's always going to be like this. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. You didn't ask for an update on where I'm at, but you just got one. Yeah, thank you if you are still watching and you're listening and taking it in. And you know, I love the plant community. I love being on YouTube, and I wish I'd started it sooner, and it's given me so much, like, and it's the only thing at the moment where, like, I know obviously I've been talking about work, so I have been thinking about it, but when I film normally my brain's just like purely in the filming and talking to you, and I just really appreciate you being there for me, so thank you. I just knocked a leaf off. Whoops, I guess I'll have two leaves propagating now. Where did the other one go? I thought I put it on the table. Lost the leaf. Okay, I think I'm going to stop talking about struggling now. Thank you for listening. Okay. Oh, I hope she's happy. I feel like there's a bit of a gap at the back here, but that's fine. That can be the back. Seriously. Oh, there it is. Maybe these two leaves will actually root and shoot and fill in this little gap back section here with a new plant. Look how pretty. I've just never really been a fan of the jade plant, but I like this one. She's cute. Next I think I'm going to do my peperomia. This is what she's looking like. I might do it in a similar, in the same substrate actually, because they're not succulents, are they, peperomia, but they're quite thick leaved and I feel like they're similar. Again, she's thirsty. Don't know what to talk about now. Why is there a whole stick in there? That's so weird. This soil's gross. This is really gross, this soil. You probably can't see it, can you? But this is definitely peat. This is peat soil substrate. Gross. I reckon the Billietier was actually just in like a cocoa coir kind of substrate. I just couldn't really tell. But now touching this, I can tell that this is, I'm so sorry, you cannot see it all. Touching this, I can tell that this is peat. This is really, really nasty. Oh my god. I nearly just sent my Billietier flying. Okay, so this was 3 separate plants. I think the roots look okay, but it's kind of hard to see them. There are definitely some healthy white ones in there. Okay, how am I gonna pop this back up? Maybe like that. And I don't feel like it doesn't need that big of a pot. Oh, perfect. Okay, so you can't see, but down here I've still got some of the terrarium substrate, so I'll pop that in there. I'm sorry if you can hear that. We've got I've got new neighbours like across the hall from us, and that apartment's been empty for like over a year, and now that there are people living there, it's so weird being able to hear people again. And I know for a fact if I talk any louder than I am at the moment, they'll be able to hear me talking to myself. Okay, I'm potting it. I'm going to try and keep all 3 together while I pot it. And I think I'm going to have to do this off camera. Sorry. Oh. Stupid sun. Sorry, she's definitely a bit blown out because the lights changed. But there we go. She looks cute. Okay, so all I've got left now is the Philodendron Majestic and my Dioscorea discolor. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know. I don't know what kind of substrate these guys like. I might go terrarium. It's such a nice substrate. It's such a nice substrate. This guy seems to be doing really well. I think it's okay. It definitely struggled a bit with being shipped, but I think it's doing okay. And I think, depending on the root size, I might actually go no drainage with this one and put it into this tiny little doodad. Don't know what I'm trying to say. Wow, the light has completely changed. I'm so sorry. Okay, I've lifted the blind up, but I've pulled the curtains because the sun's come out and I feel like that looks better, hopefully. I've just gone and got some of my black lacquer that I'm just going to put in the bottom of that glass jar, just to act as like a water reservoir layer. And I'm going to use the terrarium mix and see how it goes. I'm right, like, this is the first time I've ever had any kind of this is it diascoria? I don't know. This is the first ever time I've had one of these at all, so I don't really know what they like, but let me see if I can show you the terrarium substrate up close without getting it all over the floor. I feel like this isn't even going to do it any justice. Doesn't really do it justice, does it? So there's like cocoa coir and a bit of sand and worm castings and the zeolite and bark, and it's just really nice. It's just a really nice substrate. Lekker. This is one that I bought off a private seller, and it looks like they've used cocoa coir and either a bit of pon or zeolite, and then it's quite a pumice heavy mix. I wonder if that means they quite like it light and airy. There's some moss stuck to the roots, which maybe that's how they rooted it initially. But that's quite a nice root system. Ooh, I do get, oh my god, that, I don't feel like I broke that off. Whoops. Oops a daisy. But I think there's still a pretty decent root system there. I think I'm going to mix some of the substrate they've used just into a little bit of the terrarium substrate. Just a little bit, like not loads. But the fact that they've used so much perlite makes me think that maybe they don't like these don't like such a heavy mix. Not that the terrarium mix is heavy, but we'll see. Right, I'm going to pop her in. I'm so excited, like I can't wait to see how this one like grows. I feel like I've seen so many people share them like on Facebook, and they just grow like massive really, really fast, so I'm excited. Okay, look how cute. There's a couple of like there's this stick and there's this stick from where leaves were on them and they've fallen off, so I'm going to chop those off. Hopefully it likes it. I'm going to have to get it something to climb up, because they like climb and vine and wrap around anything they can get onto, and I imagine their leaves are bigger when they are like wrapped to things. So that's that one. And now the question is, can I be bothered to make a moss pole for the Philodendron Majestic? think the answer's no. I don't think I can be bothered. I think I'm done. I've been filming for over an hour and I really don't know if you're gonna be seeing this video. I really hope I haven't just filmed for no reason. If I do get through editing this video, it does go up. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate just being able to talk things through, and it probably didn't make that much sense, a lot of it, but there we go. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking with this video if you've watched it all the way through. Don't forget to check out Soil.Ninja for all of your soil needs, whether that's like pre-mixed soils like the Monstera and Philodendron mix or the terrarium mix, or if you like to mix your own with different components. They have like everything you could wish for, and they're now available in Europe. So if you're a Europe viewer of mine, there is also a code for you, so don't miss it. Check it out down below. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.